We are also coming back to you, comrades, that in 2021 we lost Johannesburg, we got it back. We lost Ekurhuleni, we got it back. But the biggest pain, comrades, was to lose the province and to lose national elections on the 29th of May 2024.
And to be honest, it seems like the ANC is not heard about the fact that they have lost the elections nationally and they have lost the province of Gauteng. It seems like the ANC is not heard. If you look at the leaders of the ANC, the way they carry themselves, these people are still arrogant. If you watch an interview of a representative of the ANC, these people are still arrogant. They still pretend like the political party they represent still holds a majority. I mean, the ANC should have understood that South Africans rejected them at the polls. And the ANC should go back to the drawing board and say, guys, why did South Africans reject us at the polls? And what are we going to do to fix that? The ANC is not doing any of that. They are not doing any of that. The people are still, they still give people these incompetent mayors. They still give people these incompetent councillors. The ANC comrades are still up and down in the court cases because of corruption. We still hear of corruption allegations involving the ANC members. We know of people that are working closely with the president of the ANC, people who have been accused live on national television. These people are still working with the president of the ANC. Like the ANC, it seems like they are not even acknowledging the fact that they have lost the elections. They still carry themselves as a political party that has won the elections. This is so fascinating to see. This is so fascinating to see. I mean, you would think that after these elections, the ANC would say, guys, it's time we clean up our act. It's time we clean up our act. All of these people that we know that have corruption cases on top of their heads, they cannot be closely associated with the ANC. All of these people that were exposed in the Zondo Commission, right now, as we speak, the Zondo Commission, like those files are gathering dust and nothing has been done about that. Nothing has been done about that, despite Ramaphosa, when he came into the presidency. One of the things that he promised the people of this country is that I am going to be hard on corruption. I know you guys always complain about the fact that there are corrupt politicians and there is nothing that has been done against these corrupt politicians. I am going to ensure that these corrupt politicians are put behind bars. 5 years into his presidency, 5 years into his presidency, who is locked up? Who is locked up? 5 years into Ramaphosa's presidency, we still have these incompetent mayors. 5 years into Ramaphosa's presidency, crime is up. 5 years into Ramaphosa's presidency, unemployment rate is up. 5 years into Ramaphosa's presidency, the infrastructure has been totally destroyed. I mean, like, these people, they don't carry themselves like people who have actually lost the elections. This is what is so, like, this is why I say it is so fascinating for me to actually see these people and how they carry themselves. There is nothing that the ANC has changed after they have lost the elections. There is nothing that they have changed after they've lost the elections. They still believe that this is a political party that is popular in the country. This is a political party that represents majority of the people in the country. This is a political... They are not even willing to go back to the drawing board to say, guys, how can we clean up our act? You look at the ANC is the same with the EFF. The EFF has lost the elections. The EFF has been thrashed by a political party that is 6 months old. You would swear the EFF would go back to say that, guys, what did we do? What did we say to upset South Africans like this? Our political party, of course, we have lost with 1.4%. Okay, fine. It is not a significant loss, but what did we do to South Africans that actually made South Africans reject us so much? And what can we do? No, the EFF still continues as if it is the third biggest political party in the country. The leadership of the EFF, it is still arrogant. They are still arrogant. Julius Malema came out after the EFF has lost the elections to say that, no, you see, this time the members of parliament of the EFF are now going to carry themselves with dignity. We have been in parliament for the past 10 years, and now it is time to actually show the people of this country that we can actually be a reasonable in parliament. We are no longer going to cause chaos. We are no longer going to be unreasonable in parliament. We are not going to be the disruptors in parliament. Today, the EFF is all of those things that Julius Malema said it is not going to be. It's all of those things that, like, I have not... I don't know, man. What's wrong with these people? What's wrong with these people, man? How can you lose the elections and still carry yourselves like you have won the elections? How can you lose the elections and still do the things that actually made people hate you? How can you do that? It is so fascinating, man.
And comrades, we don't have to sugarcoat it. I've seen others, they call it the strategic loss, the strategic retreat.
Strategic loss.
We've lost elections, comrades. And if you lose elections means, comrades, that we must bury our differences and unite and prepare for the next round of confrontation, which is the next elections. So we come to you, comrades, to say we need to consolidate your base. And in most instances, comrades, we differ on small things that are not going to build the future for ourselves. There must be no room where we still differ when we're going through this kind of difficulties. I said this at the Lekgotla of the ANC, and I want to say this to you. The ship of the progressive forces is sinking at a faster pace.
Why? Why is that? Why is that? Why is that?
Instead of all of us trying to determine how to stop this ship from sinking, we are squabbling on who owns the ship. Because you can own the ship, but in the ultimate end, to take ownership of the ship when it's at the belly of the sea, and that ship will be meaningless. So we are coming to you, comrades, to say...
So Panyaza Lesufi is also acknowledging the fact that the progressive caucus is falling. He's also coming to a realization that the progressive caucus is collapsing. I mean, some of us have said it for the longest time that this progressive caucus, it is not going to work. This progressive caucus, it is going to collapse because it is filled with people who have a lot of hatred and anger towards the ANC, towards Ramaphosa, towards the government of national unity. There is no way that the progressive caucus was going to succeed. I mean, like right now, you can see the fight is coming between the EFF and the MK party. I mean, like that one is clear. I don't think we need to emphasize it. The fight is coming between the EFF and the MK party. And right now, the EFF is acting like, how can I put it? The EFF no longer trusts the MK party. The EFF no longer believes in the progressive caucus. This is the reason why they always emphasize it. Even the leaders of the EFF, if you go on social media, they always emphasize it that we are going to work with the MK party, but we are only going to work with the MK party in parliament to go against the GNU. Nothing more, nothing less. This is the only relationship that we have with the MK party, to oppose the government of national unity in parliament. But outside of that, it's every man for himself. It's every man for himself. I think the EFF is now starting to realize that this political party of Jacob Zuma, this MK party of Jacob Zuma, one of their goals is to ensure that the EFF has been destroyed. So the EFF actually is realizing that no, Jacob Zuma, as much as he is angry towards the ANC, Jacob Zuma is also angry towards the EFF, and Jacob Zuma wants to destroy the EFF. Maybe this is what he wants to do first, destroy the EFF. After you have done with the EFF, now you can take the fight to the ANC. So the EFF is realizing that no, man, these people are destroying our political party. So we cannot continue to pretend like we are in love. We cannot pretend like there's a bromance between the EFF and the MK party. We are simply going to work with these people in parliament to oppose the government of national unity. Outside of parliament, it's every man for himself. This is what the leaders of the EFF are saying right now.
let's rise to the occasion and reclaim the African National Congress. And the establishment of Government of National Unity, which is an option that was very difficult for us to accept, but it must not be the end of the National Democratic Revolution. There are many people that have taken a posture that now that we've established government with various political parties, that government, it means the end of everything. We must not raise up our voices and other things. Actually, I'm scared even to say amandla and long live the spirit of Erigwala, because I'll be told I'm disrupting the GNU. And we are proud as Gauteng that we've established government without those that are reactionaries and those that are against transformation. And we are proud that we must defend the government that we've established in Gauteng so that we can show to the enemy that we can run government without them, and they don't have a birthright to be in any form of government, and we can dictate terms on our own.
It is so funny how Panyaza Lesufi talks about other political parties and how other political parties do not have the birthright to govern, but they themselves in Gauteng, they are governing Gauteng with a minority government instead of getting into governance with other political parties, because they have lost the elections. They have lost the elections. Now they are choosing to govern Gauteng alone with a minority. And at the same time, the Premier of Gauteng is standing there to say that no, other political parties are pretending like they have a birthright of being in parliament. Man, talk about a hypocrisy. Talk about hypocrisy. Talk about hypocrisy. A political party that is governing without other political parties and still says other political parties think that they have a birthright of governing. It's insane. The people of Gauteng, they have rejected the ANC. I mean, right now, if you look at what is happening in Gauteng, it's almost as if the ANC has committed a coup d'etat in Gauteng. It is almost as if these people are governing Gauteng by force. The ANC got less than 40% in Gauteng. They have lost Gauteng, but they are governing Gauteng with a minority government. They are ignoring the fact that the residents of Gauteng said, we no longer want the ANC to govern this province alone. At least, we no longer want the ANC to govern this province alone. We want the ANC to govern this province with other political parties, because the ANC has failed to govern Gauteng alone. But no, Panyaza Lesufi is governing Gauteng with a minority government, with the 7 MECs in the of the ANC. How can you have 7 MECs in Gauteng when you didn't even win the elections? It doesn't even make sense. It doesn't make sense. But they are saying, no, we are going to show the enemy. No, you are not going to show the enemy. You are putting a huge middle finger in front of the faces of the people of Johannesburg, in front of the people of Gauteng. This is what you are doing. It has nothing to do with the enemy. It has nothing to do with the enemy of the ANC, but it has to do with the residents of Gauteng. This is what you have done. You have said, no, take this middle finger, take it up and eat it. We are going to govern you by force. We don't care that you guys didn't vote for us, but we are going to govern for you. We are going to govern you, whether you like it or not. This is what you have done. So it has nothing to do with other political parties. It has everything to do with you and not listening to the people of Gauteng. This is what you have done. They are not popular, because if these people were popular, they would have gotten a lot of votes in Gauteng. If ANC was popular, they would have gotten a lot of votes in Gauteng. If Panyaza Lesufi was popular in Gauteng, he wouldn't need political parties like the DA to vote for him to be the Premier of Gauteng. The ANC would have got those numbers by themselves. But Panyaza Lesufi still needed political parties like the DA for him to be the Premier of Gauteng. But he wants to stand there as if the people of Gauteng trust me. The people of Gauteng, I'm popular in Gauteng. This is why these people voted for me. It is such a joke.
These comrades, it's critical because the agenda for transformation must not be at the mercy of those that created the difficulties that we have. If you are going to donate the agenda of transformation to those that have created problems, comrades, forget about that agenda of transformation. And that is why, comrades, we are telling the national leadership the basic amendment education laws, the BELA bill, comrades, that the president half signed, And we said to the president, it's fine, half sign it. Give them 3 months to say whatever that they want to say. But
no, man, there's no such thing. No,
reality,
there's no such thing as the president has half signed the BELA bill. The president has signed the BELA bill. To be honest, the president has signed the BELA bill. He only said, no, we are still going to negotiate these 3 sections because the DA was making a fuss about it. Truth of the matter is that you cannot half sign the bill. The bill has been signed. The bill has been signed. So it doesn't matter if the DA says that, no, we no longer want the BELA bill. Ramaphosa is going to say, guys, your 3 months is over. The BELA bill is now into law. It's now into law. He only said that because the DA was making a huge fuss about these 3 sections that they found unacceptable. But the truth is that he signed the bill. You cannot half sign the bill. No, you cannot do that. You cannot do that. It's not like the ANC is going to say, we understand the DA. No, we are not going to put these 3 sections into the bill because we understand you are our partners. So we understand why you feel so strongly about these 3 sections. So these 3 sections are going to be put aside. No, Ramaphosa is simply going to say, guys, I gave you 3 months to convince me that I must not put these things into the BELA bill. And you didn't convince me. The likes of Panyaza Lesufi are in his ear to say, no, President, you cannot listen to the DA. You must not listen to the DA. It doesn't matter what these people say. Just tell them that you are not convinced and go ahead and sign the bill. This is what Ramaphosa is going to do. Like, no, guys, I am not convinced. So the bill is into law. So he didn't half sign the bill. He signed the bill.
It is that BELA bill must be implemented in full because there's nothing wrong with that BELA bill. We can't surrender our well-being to those that opposed us, comrades.
And don't you find it strange that with the BELA bill, they didn't take the BELA bill to the people? They didn't take the BELA bill to the people. You are going to put something into law that is going to change people, like that is going to affect the children and their education. But you are not even going to the parents of these children to say that, guys, this is the BELA bill and this is what the BELA bill is all about. I mean, if you can ask a simple parent in the street, do you think an average parent in the streets of South Africa can tell you what is BELA bill and what is BELA bill about? So do you think that it is fair to sign the bill into law, the bill that the people do not even understand? And this bill is going to affect the education of young people in this country. So how is it fair? How is it fair that the BELA bill was not explained to the people of this country in layman's terms? I mean, I can do a video, guys, if you like it. Please tell me if you want me to do it. I can go in the streets and simply ask people, guys, what is BELA bill? What do you understand about the BELA bill? And I'm not going to edit the video. I'm not going to put out the responses of people who actually understand what the BELA bill is. I just want us to compare how many people understand the BELA bill and how many people do not understand the BELA bill. So if you want me to make that video, I can make that video. I can go in the streets for you and ask the people about the BELA bill. This is why I'm saying it is absurd that the government can actually go ahead to implement something that is going to affect the education of young people into this country without even making sure that the parents of those young people understand. Do you think where I live in the townships, the parents understand what a BELA bill is? Do you think in the rural areas of this country, the parents understand what a BELA bill is? But these people are beating up their chest like, yeah, we have signed the BELA bill. We have signed the BELA bill. We are the biggest bosses. It is absurd. It is absurd. And it still shows you that these people do not care about the education of young people into this country. Because if they cared about the education of young people into this country, Ramaphosa would have said 2 years ago, he would have said, guys, for the next 2 years, I want the ANC representatives to go to all the neighborhoods into this country, go to all the informal settlements into this country and explain to the people that this is how your children's education is going to be affected. And allow those people to ask you questions, allow those people to criticize the bill. They didn't do that. If these people were actually serious and actually valued the education of young people into this country, this is what they should have done. They should have went to the parents and to say, guys, everything is going to change and this is how it's going to change. But they didn't do that. So I don't know why these people can simply stand there and beat their chest and pretend like they have done something so amazing when they didn't even involve the parents. But I understand even the BELA bill itself, it doesn't care about the parents. I understand the BELA bill itself, it doesn't care about the parents. They are going to take the powers from the SGB, and those powers are now going to go to the office of the Minister of Basic Education. So they are even taking the voice of parents into the SGBs. They are even taking the voices of the parents. So I understand, like, maybe I understand why they did what they did, but it is so insane. It is insane.
And we can't leave this country, and we can't leave this world, and we can't leave this country, and we can't leave this world to those that feel that they can oppress us and still oppress our children and our children's children. It does not work that way. The BELA bill is simple. All children that are born in this country must be taught by the same teacher in the same classroom. What's wrong with that in our lives?
Yeah, tell them that the BELA bill is also going to open the doors for the children of illegal foreigners. Tell them that the children of illegal foreigners are now going to attend the schools in South Africa. Despite the fact that the children in this country, the South African born children, are already struggling to find schools. Now you are inviting the people to come from all of these countries to educate their children in South Africa. And people are clapping hands because BELA bill, it is the greatest thing ever. Oh my God.
We can't be and tolerate that language should determine which school you should go, or language should determine which quality education you should access. Here we are, comrade, in one classroom, where somebody speaking isiTsonga, where somebody speaking isiZulu, where somebody speaking iSpedi, and we only go to different classes for that language, but everything we do it in the same class, all of us. What is special with this particular race that they believe they can have the whole school to themselves? We are saying all these schools belong to all our children. And we should not retreat, comrade. And we should not be intimidated. I'm not a product of cowards. I'm a product of heroes. And any person that is a coward, we are politely asking you, the era and the stage that you are in does not need cowards. Mele Saitini, let us the brave lead this particular
platform. Man, you know, I think I should go into politics, man. I think I should go into politics. I would gaslight people the same way Panyazal Sufi is gaslighting people, man. I would gaslight the people the same way Panyazal Sufi is gaslighting people, man. Politics has to be the easiest thing ever, man. It has to be the easiest thing ever. Just stand there and gaslight the people. This is what they want. Lie to them and gaslight them. This is what they want.
And we are prepared to lead it, whatever it takes. Whatever it means, we are prepared to advance this transformation agenda, comrades. We are saying the same thing with the National Health Insurance. Comrades, it must not be whether you have access to medical aid that must determine which hospital you must go to. It must not be whether you've got medical aid, you should have access to experts that are in the medical space. It should not be whether we have a medical aid. When you are in the accident scene, you are asked who has a medical aid, who does not have a medical aid. And those that have medical aid are rescued first and those without medical aid are ignored. Is it a sin to be unemployed? Is it a sin to be poor? Is it a sin not to have any medical aid? It must come to an end, and the NHI must be implemented without further delay. And this transformation agenda, comrades, we must not retreat on it. Because if we can retreat...
I mean, like, just imagine as a politician standing there telling people that, guys, you know, we are sick and tired of this thing of the private hospitals and the public hospitals. We know that we were in charge of the public hospitals for the past 30 years. We know that the public hospitals, the infrastructure of the public hospitals, it has been totally destroyed under our own supervision. So now, if you seek medical attention, we are going to fight for you to go to the private hospitals. And do not say anything about these public hospitals that we have destroyed. I mean, this whole idea of NHI wouldn't be desirable to the people if the public hospitals were good. There would be no need for the people to attend the public hospital, to attend the private hospitals with the expensive medical aids if the public hospitals were good. Truth of the matter is that the people, even the people in the townships, the people in the rural areas, the people in the informal settlements, they know the state of our public hospitals. And people are choosing to die in their homes instead of going to the public hospitals. And the question is why? Why are people choosing to die in their homes instead of going to the public hospitals? Why? So right now, these people are going to stand there and pretend like they didn't have the power to actually ensure that the public hospitals are in a good condition. They are simply going to stand there and pretend like we didn't have any power to ensure that the public clinics are in good condition. But today, those institutions are in a terrible condition. So we are going to fight for you to go to the private hospitals. And the people are clapping hands. This is not going to, like, it is never going to happen. It is never going to happen. The courts are not going to allow it. But because of politics, because of political rhetoric, this is something that people actually sit down and actually fantasize about it. Just imagine me, myself, just going to the private hospitals, man. I only need a card of the ANC and everything is paid for by the trusted comrades of the ANC who are not even corrupt. Ooh, what a wonderful South Africa that we live in. It is a shame. How can people even trust the comrades with the money? The NHI, the money they talk about in the NHI is trillions and trillions of rands. It's trillions and trillions of rands. And it's not like the NHI as an idea, it is such a horrible idea. No, of course, it is not a horrible idea. The thing has to do with the people that are talking about the NHI and the people that are promising to implement the NHI. These are the people that have failed to maintain the state-owned entities. These are the people that have maintained to maintain the infrastructure. These are the people that have failed to maintain anything across this country. But for some reason, they want the South Africans to believe that they can implement the NHI. The people that are failing and have failed to maintain the state-owned entities today are telling you that they can implement the NHI. South Africans are clapping hands. South Africans are clapping hands.
Comrades, we are living pain and misery for our children. We can't be a generation of social grants and make our children to be a generation of social grants. We must reclaim what belongs to us. All the minerals of this country belongs to us, and they must come back to us. So
30 years into democracy. 30 years into democracy, we are talking about the mineral resources of this country belong to us. 30 years into democracy. 30 years into democracy. 30 years, 30 into democracy. We cannot create a situation where people are depending on the government. It has already been done. It has been done. It has been done. Even in the elections, Ramaphosa was even boasting about the fact that millions and millions of South Africans are depending on the social accounts. Ramaphosa himself, he was boasting that millions and millions of South Africans are depending on social accounts. He was even campaigning about it, saying that if you vote for other political parties, chances are they might take your grants away. He was boasting about it. He was boasting about it. I remember how furious I was, saying that, the president saying that millions and millions of people are receiving the social grants, and if you vote for other political parties, they are going to take those social grants away. That statement alone was enough to disqualify Ramaphosa to be the president of the country. That statement alone, it was enough to disqualify Ramaphosa to be the president of the country. But he was boasting about the fact that millions and millions of South Africans are depending on social accounts. So the ANC cannot come today and pretend like, no, we know exactly what needs to be done. I mean, how many people have lost their jobs under the leadership of the ANC? How many companies closed because of load shedding? Even yesterday, we were talking about the fact that 60% of young people who tried to open businesses, they ended up failing because of load shedding. So these people cannot come again and promise and pretend like they can do something about it. It has been 30 years already, man. When are people going to wake up? When are people going to wake up? It has been 30 years already. It has been 30 years already. I mean, today you have an ANC Youth League president, the guy who, he even hardly talks about the issues that are facing young people. Young people today are committing suicide because they feel useless. They go to school because they are told that if you go to school, if you get your degrees, if you get your diplomas, then everything is going to be fine. You are going to get jobs and you are going to be able to support your family. Young people in this country, they are going to school today. After getting the diplomas, after getting the degrees, they are going back home. They are going back home. So they are depressed. Many of them have committed suicide because they were lied. Young people today, they have turned into drug addicts. They have turned into drunkards. They are drinking every weekend, drinking their depression away because nothing is working out for them. Young people in this country, they cannot even compete with other young people across the world. Young people across the world, man, they are making enormous technological advances. Young people in this world, man, they are like, the things that young people are making throughout the world compared to things that young people are making in South Africa, it is not even a comparison. So how can we sit here and actually listen to the people that have destroyed this country, basically destroyed the future of young people in this country, to stand there and pretend like they can do something about the situation that was caused by them? It is so sad, man. It is so sad, man. It's so sad. And the fact that people still allow their comrades to gaslight them today, it's even more sad.
So that we can hand it over to our children and we can rest in peace that the revolution had a meaning and the revolution will continue. So we are coming to you one by one, comrades. Isikhathi samagwala siphelile. Baboyi abatshethele emraro. The stage that you are in need fearless ones. The stage that you are in need the second revolution. We were excited with 1994. We were excited when we put the ballot paper. The compromises that we made so that we can live with those that oppressed us have now been used and turned around, be a weakness on the side of progressive forces. We need to ensure where we are, where we stand, there is no country or inch of our country that you are told it's not accessible to our people. There is a place called Orania, comrade, where it has its own flag. It's its own currency. Their children are going to their own school alone, following their own systems alone, and they think that the best model of a better South Africa, a best model of a better South Africa is when we stay together and share the frustration, the wealth and everything of this country together. It can't be when...
I mean, the ANC presidents, all the ANC presidents went to Orania and said there's nothing wrong with Orania. Mandela went to Orania. Zuma went to Orania. Mbeki went to... Like, the ANC presidents don't see anything wrong with Orania. They don't see anything wrong with Orania. So why is an ANC member standing in front of the people pretending like the ANC is outraged about Orania? The ANC is not outraged about Orania. They are not outraged about Orania. They are not. The only reason why the comrades are scared of Orania is because Orania is I don't know, man. They look at Orania and say maybe this is what South Africa could be like. They hate Orania because Orania is doing everything right. You can hate Orania all you want. You can scream and say that Orania, the people of Orania are racist all you want. But one thing you cannot take away from the people of Orania, it is what they have built for themselves. The comrades hate that. The comrades hate that. This is the why. You will hear Julius Malema saying, no, we are going to build the RDPs in Orania. Why would you want to build RDPs in Orania? Why? 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 We are going to build the RDPs in Orania. Why? They are not outraged about the existence of Orania. They are just mad at what Orania has turned itself into. They are just mad at what Orania has turned itself into. No unemployment rate, no crime, no potholes. Everybody is working. They are building their own community. They love each other. They protect each other. They just hate the fact that the people of Orania have actually achieved this. So unfortunately, those people are black, are white. Unfortunately, those people are white. So you know how it goes in the country. You know how it goes in the country. So the question is, what is stopping black people from actually building their own Oranias? What is stopping us from building our own Orania? What is stopping us from actually saying we no longer want criminalities in our own communities? We are going to deal decisively with criminals. What is stopping black people from doing that? What is stopping us from actually dumping in every corner of our own community? Every corner of our own community right now, it has been turned into illegal dumpings. It is all our doing. It is our doing. No, nobody is doing that to us. Nobody is doing that to us. What is stopping us from being like Orania? So Panyaza Lesufi is outraged at Orania as if the ANC itself, it is outraged at Orania. They are not outraged at Orania. If ANC was outraged at Orania, maybe the presidents of the ANC wouldn't have visited Orania time and time again. I mean, even with the Jacob Zuma, you see the supporters of Jacob Zuma saying, no, Jacob Zuma is the most radical. You remember even there's a video that I did when Clement Manyatela was actually embarrassing that guy of Umkhonto Wesizwe, Andile Mchitama, saying that Jacob Zuma is so, like, Jacob Zuma is the most progressive man in South African politics. Jacob Zuma wouldn't stand for any of these Orania nonsense. And the clip was actually pulled out with Jacob Zuma holding hands with Karel Boshoff holding hands with the people who have actually studied Orania and actually praising Orania. So the supporters of Jacob Zuma, if you listen to them, you would swear that Jacob Zuma never set foot in Orania. This is where we are today. People go to Orania, they come back and to say that, no, I have never went to Orania, I will never go to that racist place. Truth of the matter is that they are going there.
When it's bad, it's us. When it's good, it's them. Everything that is bad belongs to all of us. Everything that is good must also belong to all of us, so that we defend a truly non-racial government. We can't be good when we watch rugby together with them, and we are bad when our children must be in the same classroom with their children. We need to change that and take over these particular progressive forces that we have. So the African National Congress, comrades, the contested terrain is contested by those that believe they can control it from their own political parties. Helen Zille is not a member of the ANC, and the DA is not in alliance with the ANC. They must not dare try to dictate what is happening within the structures of the African National Congress. The ANC belongs to us, and it's up to us that will dictate where it should go. It will never be
I mean, tell the people that if it wasn't for the DA, then Ramaphosa would not be the president of the ANC. Tell them. Tell them. The EFF and Umkhonto Wesizwe wanted nothing to do with Ramaphosa. Tell them. You know, they like to tell the people half the truth. You know, half-baked stories. They love coming with the half-baked stories. It is so sad. The ANC is going around the country saying, no, the DA is not our friend. The DA is not our ally. The DA is nothing. But they needed the votes of the DA. Even Panyaza Lesufi himself, he needed the votes of the DA to be the Premier of Gauteng. He wouldn't be the Premier of Gauteng if DA didn't vote for him. The DA voted for him to be the Premier of Gauteng. Now it's like, no, the DA has never done nothing for us. No, I am going to tear my shirt because these people have never done nothing for us, but they're pretending like they have done something for us. When are people going to stop being gaslit, man? When are people going to stop being gaslit? When?
Dictated by Helen Zille and the DA. We might be in government with them nationally, but they have exposed their limitations, that they want even to contradict our president when he speaks with the people of Russia. They want to contradict our president when he advances the transformation agenda. So we come to you, comrades.
You cannot come with your own agendas as the ANC because the ANC didn't win the elections. I mean, I remember the Minister of Presidency, if she's still the Minister of Presidency, Khumbudzo Ntshavheni, saying that in the GNU, nobody is going to implement their own policies. But the policies that are going to be implemented in the GNU are the policies of the GNU. So the ANC cannot implement its own policies. The ANC cannot implement its own agendas. The ANC didn't win the elections, so they have no right to actually set agenda on anything. They must consult. They must consult. And every time, whenever they are being reminded that you have to consult, they are going out and throwing out their toys and throwing tantrums all over the place. They must consult. They must consult. Why? They didn't win the elections, so they cannot push their own agenda. This is the government of national unity. Everybody must be included. Everybody must be included. That's why you remember at the beginning of the video, I said, the way they carry themselves, it's almost as if they have won the elections, but they have lost the elections. They have lost the elections. So you want to lose the elections and continue to implement your own agenda. Despite you losing the elections, you want to implement your own agenda. How does it make sense? It doesn't make any sense. The DA does not have any right to implement its own agenda. Patriotic Alliance, it doesn't have any right to implement its own agenda. IFP cannot implement its own agenda. ANC cannot implement its own agenda. But the agenda that must be implemented by all of these political parties in the GNU are the agendas of the government of national unity, not the agenda of a single political party in the GNU. They are pretending like they have won the elections. That is the thing. That is the thing. So when they are reminded that no, you cannot, you must consult everything that you are going to do or everything that you want to do, you must consult. They are throwing out their toys. They are throwing out their toys. Why is it so hard for these people to understand that the ANC can no longer implement ANC's policies? The ANC should not even be allowed to implement its own policies. This is what they said themselves. The ANC said it themselves, said, we are not going to implement our own policies as the ANC. This is what they said themselves. But we are going to implement the policies of the government of national unity. It's insane, man. It's insane. Absolutely insane. Absolutely insane.
That if they've been sitting on their laurels to think this revolution has been achieved, you are wrong. We are entering the next tough, difficult phase of our revolution. If there's somebody what
guys, there is no revolution. It is just the comrades eating. There is no revolution. It's just the comrades eating.
It's not. It's immaterial now. Yeah. We need all of us to stand together as Africans in particular and demonstrate we fear no one. Yes. This country belongs to us. We'll defend it with the last drop of our blood. And those that think that they can hijack the ANC and hijack the alliance, they are wrong. The ANC is unhijackable. It belongs to us and we'll defend it forever.
Guys, I'm telling you, man, I think I should go into politics, but the ANC is dying, man. The ANC is dying. I should have went into politics when the ANC was still strong. I would have been a millionaire by now. I should have went to the ANC when the ANC was strong. I would have been a millionaire right now. I mean, like, even Herman Mashaba now wants to gaslight the people of this country, but Herman Mashaba is not working out well for him. Because there are videos and videos of Herman Mashaba actually going against this type of rhetoric. So for him today to come out to say that, yeah, this is what we want to do, people are saying, no, Herman Mashaba, just take a seat. Just take a seat. We are not going to listen to you. But I wish, man, I could have joined the ANC while the ANC was still strong. Like, it is such an easy job. Just gaslight the people, lie to them, tell them half the truth, and you are fine. You are totally fine. You are totally fine. The people are still going to vote for you. It is so sad. It is so sad to see how ignorant and complacent our people have become. It is so sad. Guys, please tell me what you think on the comment section. Don't forget to hit that like button, and the most important part, subscribe. My name is B MABASO. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.